cheeseburger.
Now, according to reports, it looks like Jarrell Miller may actually accept the challenge of going to Bulgaria to take on KUBRAT Pulev, which is great news. It's a fight that I would love to see, and I'm a little surprised that Jarrell Miller is willing to go outside of America, because so far he's been quite unwilling. Or maybe that was just because it was Joshua. Maybe he didn't want any kind of what he would see as home cooking. But in Bulgaria, home cooking could happen also, and Derek Chisora has been screaming about that ever since he fought KUBRAT Pulev as well. Now, Jarrell Miller, he's come off back-to-back wins over Gerald Washington, Mariusz Wach, and of course Johan Duapa. With KUBRAT Pulev, he has a very stellar resume. Obviously, he stopped Alexander Ustinov, and he's beaten Derek Chisora, and amongst others, of course, with his only loss being against Vladimir Klitschko. Now, this is a very good fight. It's a very interesting one, no doubt about it. And for me, I think if Jarrell Miller takes this fight, he's going to have to go in there to try and put a stop on KUBRAT Pulev, because KUBRAT Pulev is a proper athlete. He's very, very good, very rangy. He's not like the tallest heavyweight in the world. Was he like 6'4" or something like that? So either way, KUBRAT Pulev has won the purse bid, or his team, because he had two teams bidding against each other, which seems kind of bizarre. He's got his own promotional team in Team Sauerland, who bid 1 million, and Epic Sports and Entertainment, who's also on the side of KUBRAT Pulev, headed by a Bulgarian, and they bid 2.1 million, or just over. It just seems weird, though. I mean, as it was only them two that bid. So if Team Sauerland are putting up 1 million, why did Epic Sports and Entertainment put up 1.1 million? Why 2 point? It's almost like they're overpaying. But either way, I mean, maybe Epic Sports and Entertainment, they're planning on making a big splash in the boxing world, who knows. But anyway, KUBRAT Pulev has said this: "I'm happy to welcome Jarrell Big Baby Miller to Bulgaria. It will be an opportunity to showcase this exciting heavyweight matchup between us in front of grateful boxing fans." And the head of Epic Sports and Entertainment, the CEO, Ivilo Gosvez, has said this: "Miller's promoter told the IBF that they wanted the fight and that Miller was available. Contracts have been sent, and it's time for this epic battle to take place on September the 1st in Sofia, the capital of Bulgaria. There is so much at stake, as this bout will determine the mandatory challenger for the champion, Anthony Joshua. Bulgaria is a land of beauty with great hospitality. The red carpet will be laid out for Miller like he's never seen before, and he and his team will be welcomed with open arms. Since we won the purse bid on Monday, we've been in regular contact with Jarrell's co-promoters, Salita Promotions and Greg Cohen Promotions. We explored with them doing the event here in the US, but Miller is apparently not yet a big enough draw to interest the major US boxing networks, and they've all turned down doing the fight here in America, which is why we're taking it to Europe, where KUBRAT is a huge celebrity and draw. All that is left for Miller is to sign." So there you have it. Now, going by that, it seems that Miller, of course, he's going to get 25%. I don't agree with the IBF situation where final eliminated, that KUBRAT Pulev gets 75% and Miller gets 25%. Exactly the same thing that I said about Pulev and Dillian Whyte, that it should be a 50-50, as neither one of these guys are the champion, right? They're both fighting for the number one mandatory position. This is how it is. But either way, these are the rules. So Jarrell Miller, he's set to earn just over $500,000. Okay, so decent money, no doubt. And I imagine this is probably a record high payday for him. I don't know how much he would have got against Duapa or Mariusz Wach or Gerald Washington, etc. But either way, it's a very, very interesting one. Now, Pulev, he was originally the mandatory for Anthony Joshua, but with only like 2 weeks left before the fight, he pulled out with injury after a long time of and ahhing whether or not he wanted to fight. He turned it down on several occasions, and then he had no choice but to fight Anthony Joshua. And again, he was being reluctant with it. That his team, which is headed by Kalle Sauerland and his brother, of course, and he just seemed very unwilling. He was saying that my team are not talking to me, I don't know when it is, and even though the rest of the boxing world knew where it was. So it's almost like he didn't want the fight with Joshua, which is why they put in Takam as a replacement just in case, because they weren't confident that Pulev was going to stick with it. But either way, he has been given another opportunity. Now, Pulev, he hasn't fought in the best part of a year. He hasn't. So maybe a bit of ring rust, maybe, I don't know. Hopefully his injuries have healed up all well. The fight itself is going to be an interesting one. Jarrell Miller will come forward and he will be putting it on him. But will he get a decision in Bulgaria? This is the thing where they're right. I think that KUBRAT PULEV is somewhat of a celebrity in Bulgaria. So will he get a decision? I mean, hopefully that they're going to be fair with it. And him saying that they can't put it in America because Miller isn't really a draw, that's a little bit disrespectful for them to say that. So if they have been told that, then they need to kind of like not say that, because that is very disrespectful, in my opinion anyway, that actually openly saying that Miller isn't a draw in America. I mean, there may be a little bit of truth to it, but for me, I think Miller is a decent draw. He's a very decent draw. There's no doubt about it. But either way, so the fight's going to happen in Bulgaria. So all Miller has to do now is just sign the contract and everything will be great. And hopefully he does. Hopefully this fight happens. And this will be another name on the resume of either man. So if Miller was to win, KUBRAT PULEV is a quality name on the resume to have. And likewise with KUBRAT PULEV, if he was to beat Jarrell Miller, again, another decent name on his resume. So both of these are racking up their resumes, of course, and ultimately the prize is to fight Anthony Joshua as the mandatory. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. So hopefully he signs, and let's see what happens. So drop your thoughts below. Who do you think is going to win this fight? Do you think that Miller will actually go to Bulgaria? Drop your thoughts below. Click that thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.